Hi, this is Mato. In this video, I will show you the game between Vladimir Kramnik and Judit Polgar. Game was played in London Classic Chess Tournament in 2012. Kramnik had white pieces and he started with c4. English opening. Knight to f6. Knight to c3. c5. g3. Knight to c6. Symmetrical English. Bishop to g2. And now e6 is very popular in this position. And after e3, black would play d5. In our game we have d6. Judit wants to play pawn to e5. e3, e5, knight from g to e2, preparing d4, bishop to e6, attacking pawn on c4, knight to d5, bishop to e7, Kramnik castled kingside, and Judit castled kingside, knight from 2 to c3, and knight to b4. Maybe we can say that this is a bit unexpected. It is white to move. Bishop on e7 is a bad bishop. Black center pawns are on dark squares. Yet Kramnik captured bad bishop. Queen takes knight. d3. And now d5. Quite a risky move. Another way to continue was bishop to g4, attacking queen. And after say f3, bishop to e6, if a3, knight to c6. That is less risky variation for black. But we have d5. This variation involves a piece sacrifice. a3, attacking knight. If knight goes to c6, for example, then pawn takes pawn, winning a piece. Or if knight goes to a6, then pawn takes pawn on d5. Pawn is defended twice. So we have pawn takes pawn on c4. Like I said, Judit is sacrificing the knight on b4. Pawn takes knight. C takes on b4, attacking knight on c3. Knight to e4. Knight takes knight. Bishop takes knight. f5, attacking bishop. Bishop to g2. Rook from f to d8. Pawn on d3 is attacked. d4. a5. Defending the pawn on b4. Let's have a good look at this position. Judit has 2 pawns for the bishop. Is that enough compensation? But on the queen side, she has 4 pawns against b2 pawn. Queen to e2. e4. Shutting light square bishop. f3. Bishop wants to see some light. Bishop to d5. Pawn takes pawn. Pawn takes pawn. Rook to f5. Rook is heading for e5. Queen to d7, attacking rook, and black wants to play rook to e8 to challenge rook on e5. Rook to e5. Rook to e8. Nice tactic. Bishop to h3. Attacking queen. If queen takes bishop, what happens then? Rook takes, very important, bishop on d5. So in the game Judit played queen to c6. Rook takes rook. If rook takes rook, rook takes pawn. So Judit recaptured with queen. Bishop to d2. If the sleepy bishop becomes active, black will have problems. Queen to e7. Better move is b6. Defending the pawn on a5. Also bishop is defending rook. Additionally, rook is free to move. Queen to e7 was played. Now h5 is not protected. Queen to h5. Attacking bishop. Queen to d8 was played. Defending the bishop on d5. Rook to f1. g6 attacking queen. Perhaps if b6 is played, for example, then this is possible. And if g6 now, then bishop takes on g6 after, say, pawn takes, queen takes. And after king to h8, then rook to f5, threat is rook to h5, checkmate. g6 was played. Queen to e5. Rook may be coming to f6 and then to d6. So rook to a6 was played. It is white to move. In this position, Kramnik found a brilliant tactic that brought him a victory. If you wish, you can pause this video and you can try to find the winning move for white in this position. Ready? What did you find? Kramnik played bishop to d7. Bishop is cutting communications between queen and bishop on d5. Can queen take bishop? Then queen to b8 check. And after, say, king to g7, queen to f8, checkmate. So after bishop to d7, bishop to f7 was played. Now threat is queen takes bishop on d7. How should white continue? Perhaps bishop to b5 is not a bad move, is it? And after rook to e6, queen to f4, threat is queen takes bishop on f7. After rook to e7, queen to f6, and black is tied up. But in this position, Kramnik found more spectacular way to continue. Rook takes bishop. King takes rook. Now bishop to b5, attacking rook. Rook to f6. Bishop takes pawn on c4, check. King to g7. Queen takes pawn on e4. Kramnik has two bishops for the rook. With the queens on the board, they are much stronger than rook. Even without queens on the board, two bishops are stronger than rook. Queen to c7 was played. Queen to d5. What is the purpose of this move? If, for example, b6 is played, then check, and after king to h6, e4 check. Black is in big trouble. So rook to f8 was played, protecting g8. e4. Sleepy bishop has awakened. b5. Queen takes pawn on b5. Queen to d6, attacking pawn on d4. If, for example, something reckless is played, then black is winning. This is check, winning bishop. Okay. Queen to b7 check. King to h8. Queen to a7, defending the pawn on d4 and preparing bishop to f4, attacking queen. g5, preventing bishop to f4, but what is protecting pawn on g5? Bishop takes pawn. Queen to c6, attacking bishop on c4. Kramnik played queen to e7 and Judit resigned. If, for example, rook to c8, then check, and after queen takes bishop, queen takes queen, checkmate. If there is no defense, if queen to c8, the same thing, check, and after rook takes, queen takes, checkmate. That's why in this position Judit resigned. And going back to move 11, in this position Judit played d5. Looks like that this variation will not become popular for black. Instead, bishop to g4 should be considered. Interesting game, isn't it? And that is all. I hope that you enjoyed watching this video. I wish you good luck with your chess, and bye for now.